Hi, welcome to Frederick's Workshop. My name is Jason, and this is part 3 of the Cedar toy box build. Let's get her going. So for this part 3 of the build, I'm going to use the Purpleheart here, and I got 2 more here and here that will be used for trim along all the exterior edges here. So it's going to basically be, well, it's going to almost just cover that piece up, so it's going to be a piece of trim going across here, down, over, up, on all 4 sides. Where these two, this piece here and the piece that goes down this side, where they come together to kind of like form like this, I was going to do half-blind dovetail joint with my shopping at the Goodwill. I don't have it out here. Half-blind dovetail jig, but this is too long. It won't fit in the jig. Well, this won't fit in the jig. This piece of Purpleheart up here. Once I cut it, it's too long for the jig. So, box joints. So I still got my box joint jig down there. Right there. So, all I'm going to do is measure the height here, cut this down into however many pieces I can get out of this one. Alright, so I got these. So I measured 22 7/8. So I got this set to 23 with my little line there, and then I've set up a stop block so I can just make repeated ones. And I need 4 of these sections. So I'm going to turn the dust collection on, get to cutting. Alright, so out of that board, that's all I got left. Keeping that. That's going in the everything else pile. I gotta clean this. Ouch. Look at that. Big ass splinter. Alrighty. Okay, now I'm gonna rip these down to 3 inches. So I'll set the table saw up for 3 inches and we'll be back. Now, as you've seen, as I cut them on the miter saw, these all came from one board. But apparently this board was like 6.5 inches on one end and like 8 on the other. Look at that. Nice. It's nice and, we'll call that nice level flush. And then, like that. So luckily, this clean side compared to this more rough edge, this clean side on the top one, it's nice and straight against my fence. So I'm just going to use this as the reference side of all these, and then cut my 3s out of that. Let's get her going. Turn dust collection on and fire the bad wet and get these things cut in half. Rip down the middle. So I didn't show you how I got these 4 box joints done because I wanted to get one done just off camera and make sure I did a good job of it, make sure it worked out good. It didn't, as you can see. What's this one here? I mean, the gapping here, the spacing, it's just horrible. So then I was like, alright, well, let me just make some adjustments and make another one and see if then I'll show you on one of these. None of these turned out good. This one was horrible. I ended up just making it work. So if you're going to use a box joint on something of short, like drawers, and it's only this much, mine works great. This whole length, it didn't work out. The pins or the fingers were just not lining up, and it was bad. So I didn't record that. If you're gonna do it, just good luck. Make sure you've got a damn good jig and or buy one, because my homemade one just was off and it just didn't work. So that's that. Now it's time to bring the big box over here and see how I can get this going. So let me get this set up. So I just want to get one of these corners worked on first before I show you what I'm doing here. So put all four of them, the nicest ones, right here. And now I just got them strapped on. They're not glued on. They're not attached in any other way other than these two strap clamps. And then I took a piece of, it's actually a fancy lettuce container from the grocery store. Cut out a piece of that plastic just to tape down on here because of my corners. You see that lip right there? So I'm sanding it down to that. But I didn't want to damage this, so I taped down this piece of hard plastic, and then I can get that nice and smooth, at least to this. Once I get it down to level with this plastic, then I can take the plastic off and then come down to it, because right now I'm using 40 to get this to come down, because I got to get, you know, you really can't see that one right there. This one here you can see. I got to come down 1/8 of an inch or so, and I'm not going to use a hand plane because that's just too scary for me, especially coming out this direction and chipping out. So I'm just sanding it down nice and smooth to where it's pretty much level with this plastic, and then I'm just gonna take it down to the next grit and finish making it actually flush. Alright, got the 4 Purpleheart corners done. Like I said, they're only on there with those straps. So now I need to take, I guess I'll just use the top Purpleheart here. It's a little tater chipped, as you can see. I don't know, who cares. And then I'm going to measure from here to here on all these. So I'll probably start at the bottom one just because it's at the bottom. So measure this space and then cut that top Purpleheart, which is, I don't know, 7.5 inches wide or so, lengthwise, because those two should be very, 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 very close and similar on lengths. So if I go like 1/4 of an inch, well, I'll measure it, make sure that they're very, very close. Cut that down and then rip it in half, or rip it down to the, I don't remember what that is, 3 inches or something like that. Alright, I have these 4 pieces, or actually 8, but 2 for each side, cut. So these 2, doesn't matter which 2, but I'll say these 2 go across here, here. Shorter sides will go in between those. They're long, so like this here is just a tick long. So I'm going to just take it over the miter saw and just shave off just the tip until it fits, and then get them all fitting first. So trim these all 4 up. I'm going to label them. So I should probably do that now. This is the front, so I'm going to put a front F here, F for front, and F for front, so I know which side faces the front, and then it'll be written right side up, so I don't flip it upside down. Shouldn't be able to. I don't know, either way, just make it easier myself. And then I'll put a front T and a front B, or front top, bottom, left, right, back on the pieces, and then I'll trim them up. So let's get them trimmed to fit the size, and we shall return once they fit in the spacings. So what I'm doing here Since these are all cut a little bit oversized to fit in there, not by much, just a tickle. Well, you can see, just a little bit there. So I'm just lining it up here the best I can, making a little mark, and then I'm using my square to draw that line. So now I need to, for the left top, you need to take off just a tad. There we go, just a tad. So I take it over the miter saw. Just trim it just a little bit. And then swing it back around. And check the fit. Alright, it's right there. I just need to do a little bit more. So I'm going to take it back to the miter saw and just shave that, just a tickle. There we go. Get in there. Come on. There it is. Nope. Let's just go ahead and flip that around so it's facing the right direction here. Come on, you was just fitting. You were just fitting in there. There it is. Now I take the clamp, and there's that one. There's two, and there's that side. So now I've got, this one's just balancing on there because it's just laying on the table. You got this one clamped in, got that one clamped in. So that's all I'm going to do for the rest of the 5. Just take it over here, put it in, draw a little line on the edge, trim it down just a tickle, take it back, make sure it fits, come back, trim just more, just keep going until all of them are like this. Okay, I got the front, left, and the right side's done. Not the back yet. I'm not going to put the back on and cut it down to size quite yet. What I want to do now is basically attach all of these. So what I'm going to do is disassemble it. They're all labeled. I don't know if you can see that. It says front FT, front top, front left, front right, front bottom. So I know, and then I'll be able to read the letters and the right side up, so which way they all go back on. Take them all off, and then add holes for dowels to each of the spots here. So I'm going to add drill the holes for the dowels here, and drill the holes for the dowels here, and then on this and on this side of all of the ones I've got done so far. So these will be attached with dowels in there. So right now I'm going to take all this apart, all the Purpleheart off, move it to the table saw, more space, start drilling my dowel holes, and then get ready to attach that. Holy crap, finally moving along. Alright, I'm just going to drill in all of the holes, the dowel holes, and just the ends of the trim pieces first. As long as I can get a nice, that one will work right there. See how far away that one is. Now they're awful close, but that's going to have to do. So there's 2 in this one. I'm just going to do 2 on all 6 of these. Well, both sides. So let me get this done, and then we'll work on lining these up for the corner pieces. All of the dowel holes are drilled in all those, and excuse me, and the sides of here and here, so I can add this piece, and the 2 sides on both sides. So what I'm going to do is, because I've got, like, I wrote this on the front, so I'm just going to leave this sit on top of my table saw. I'm just going to move these things out of the way, give this side, I got some paint. Well, I have to get, sand this side down, so I can, like that glue right there, doesn't matter, the piece will cover that up, but I want to get this side sanded down, all 4 sides real quick. Just remove like little scuff marks here and stuff like that. Like I mentioned, I wrote front on the front on that one. Get it sanded. Probably just gonna slap a 120. Yeah, and just do a quick. No, I'm gonna do 220 just because I don't have very many 120s left. And just do a quick buzz all the way around. So, okay, I've got these all laid out. Now, start all over. Here's the 4 front pieces. I'm going to dowel and glue these 4 together. And they're all facing upwards. So I need to rotate, flip them downwards. So this one will go this way. This will go this way. So now those are facing downwards. And these just have to rotate 180. And now I should be able to dowel and glue those. So just do a dry run. Good. So now we just need to add the glue, and then I'm going to put some clamps on here. Okay, let's get the glue. There we go. Now it's going to squeeze out, which I don't have any pin up with, and let it sit. Actually, what I might do is clean up this squeeze out, flip it upside down, so if there's any bad stuff, it's on the inside and I don't see it. So now let's flip it. care of this squeeze out. Alright, let that dry. Alright, this front section is glued onto the toy box. As you can see, it's clamped the bejeebas out of it. So I just got a bunch of clamps on there. It's almost dry. As you can see, I got way too much glue. I got a big old hanger there. And so I have to clean up the bottom of it. But this has been drying for a while now. So the next steps will be, I'm going to lay it on this side down. So then I can start attaching this side piece and this side piece. Same thing with the other side, just the two side pieces. And then I'm just going to add the glue, put the dowels in, glue, and that's it. So, and then clamp it. So I'm just going to get, there they are, these four pieces attached to the two sides, and then we'll come back, because the next will be, I got to deal with that. Okay, I got the front and the two sides that are on there. Whenever I put these two pieces on, I just put the dowels in here, drop this piece on with this and this only glued. No glue on this whatsoever and no glue on these holes. And then was able to use that to help make sure it's lined up and clamped in there. So those are done. Now I'm going to cut these two pieces down to size from this. So I'm just going to take these and just place them on here. I'm going to get my little DeWalt clamps there and just clamp it on here. And actually I'll probably use a bar clamp too to clamp the back on, just so it's on and it's in position. Then I can cut these down the miter saw to length and get those two attached. I still got to, like I said, fit these things in and then get the holes drilled just like I did for everything else. Get the dowel pins drilled or holes drilled, and then assemble this. So when I come back, the back piece, the whole trim will be on. Well, this will be it for part 4 or part 3. Sorry, I think it's part 3 for this part. So I've got all these attached all the way around, and then you can see it all the way around. As you can see that this side has been sanded a little bit. This side has not been sanded yet, nor has the other 3 sides. So off camera, I'm going to sand all this Purpleheart down, get it nice, fill in these gaps with epoxy and this bag of Purpleheart weed coke stuff that I got here, purple drugs, and fill all this, like I said, all this gaps in right here that are really bad. So I'm just going to fill it in, put some blue tape in, pour it in, call it good, sand it down some more. But there it is. This is now it's sitting on the bench with the bottom facing this way. So I'm just going to, like I said, I'm going to sand off all these edges right here, make them all nice, sand up all the Purpleheart all the way around. This side's already starting to get better, which is the back side. But as you can see, these gaps right here are horrid. And on this side, they're really bad too. Box joint just did not work for me. So, and I'll be back for part 4 once this is all sanded, and this part will probably have finish on it as well. So, I'm up on the stool just to get this beautiful shot here. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next part when we finally finish this guy that I've been working on for probably 2 years now. Luckily, my daughter is only 2, so she still has toys to play with for a long time. So if it takes me another year to finish, it better not, then I'll be okay. I do have one thing for you guys, which if I doubt anybody ever makes this far into it, but for the lid, do I just go like this, cedar all the way through? Because I've got all this cedar here, and I still got this one chunk of Purpleheart right here that I thought I was going to need, but I'm done with all this Purpleheart trim. So what I was thinking is on the lid is going cedar, Purpleheart, cedar, Purpleheart. So like right where that seam is right here, it'll be a piece of Purpleheart about 1 inch thick. and then it'll be the cedar, and then about a piece of Purple Heart 1 inch thick for just the lid, so the lid will be striped. Tell me what you think, because currently that's where I'm going to go. If you think that just might look a little funny, because once I glue it up, there's nothing I can do. I mean, once I really cut the Purple Heart, I want to probably just use it because I've already cut it. So, give me your thoughts before I do this and what you think. But thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.